I wonder what Jody wants for Christmas. Why don't I ask him? Hey Jody. Yes, Jody? What do you want for Christmas this year? Nice of you to ask, Jody. I was thinking about a watch. Have you not got enough of them already? Wash your mouth out. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Yeah, okay. Fair point. Anything in particular? Seiko GMT perhaps? Sounds good. And can I open it before Christmas? Sure, why not? You're the best, Jody. Yeah, I'm pretty good, aren't I? Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome to Just One More Unboxing. That's quite enough of that nonsense. Let's get into the package. Merry Christmas to me. I bought myself a little present last week. I blame Mr. P. I blame my friend Stephen. I was at his office. He had a watch on screen. He said, hey, I've just bought one of these. I said, ooh, I really like the black version of it. And he said, why don't we get a double deal? So shout out to Neil Watson of Watson's Jewelers in Launceston, Tasmania. He had already done Mr. P a deal and he did the two of us a slightly sharper deal. So I did not pay retail for this. If you're keen on it, I'll leave a link to his store in the description of the video. I'm sure he'll do you a deal as well. But what is it? I've got my still terrifyingly sharp Leatherman after 20 years in my hand. Let's get into the box. Thank you, Neil. Looks like he chucked in a lanyard and a little Seiko notepad as well. I'll never complain about freebies. So you know it's a Seiko, you know it's a GMT, and you know I've had my eye on it for a while and it's black. Let's open it. And it's actually from a Seiko range that I have reviewed on the channel. I think I've reviewed a total of 3 of them now, but I've never actually owned one. I've never actually spent money on this particular line of watches. Look, more freebies. A tiny Seiko pen there as well. Receipt, and thank you for your business. These now come with an e-receipt, an e-warranty from Seiko as well. You don't actually get a physical document anymore. 3 years if you buy from an authorized dealer, and Watson's is most definitely an authorized dealer. So what's in the box? Let's see. It is, you probably guessed by the thumbnail, it's a black Alpinist GMT. Look at that. SPB 379J1, I believe the 377 is the blue version, featuring the caliber 6R54. This is my first encounter with one of these new 6R GMT movements. So GMT is obviously flavour of the month at the moment. Seiko released the NH34 last year, and they have released a 6R based GMT caliber of their own this year. All right, looks like we've got some stickers as well. Nice. And there we go, what a black beauty. And the second hand is ticking away, which is always nice to see. It's rare to get a DOA, very rare to get a watch that isn't working straight out of the box. So good to see this one is going nicely. All right, let me get that movement set. And that is it set. Plus we have one more sticker to peel. I didn't take the case back sticker off Mr. P's Seiko Navigator, but I'll definitely take it off my own Alpinist GMT. There we go. And that is the 6R54 caliber. Kind of standard looking. Seiko don't do an awful lot of decoration with their kind of entry level stuff. Gold rotor, that is your lot. So getting the calipers out to this one, I measure it at 39mm across the diagonal in terms of diameter, 13.5mm thick, so fairly chunky, and a 46mm lug tip to lug tip, 20mm between the lugs, as supplied on the leather strap with deployant clasp, kind of typical Seiko back to front leather and deployant number. This one weighs in at 88 grams. 200 meters of water resistance, pretty impressive, from a screw down 3 o'clock crown, and domed sapphire crystal covering and protecting the dial. As discussed, it is a 6R54 in-house caliber by Seiko. We have seen that already though, 24 joules, hacking and hand winding. They have puffed up the power reserve on this GMT version to exactly 72 hours, hence why they can now claim 3 days of power reserve on the dial. Stated accuracy tolerances of this one from the factory are -15 to +25 a day, so sharper than the 4R, but still not exactly what you would describe as sharp. Alright, switch to the macro lens for a look at the case, the dial and the hands. Case finish is lovely. Again, look at those high polished sides. You can see I'm wearing a bright orange t-shirt today while I'm recording this one. It feels really nice to the touch as well. All surfaces beautifully smooth. Check that case profile, that is just fantastic. It is thick though at 13.5. Lovely bezel finish, nice brush to the upper lug surfaces. You've got that little high polish angled bottom surface to the bezel there as well. All very smooth on wrist. This one, it's going to be a pleasure to wear. Unsigned crown though, but plenty of grip, semi-guarded, and you have got that internal rotating inner compass bezel crown there at the 4 o'clock. So that is the Alpinist shtick. This one has an inner rotating compass bezel. Yeah, okay. It also has the GMT function, which is more useful to more people more of the time, I'd imagine. Other classic Alpinist traits are the cathedral hand, semi-skeletonized cathedral handset, and the numerals prominently at the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9. I'm loving that porthole date down there at the 4:30, by the way. I'm loving the fact that they have taken the time to angle the numeral correctly, so white against black. It is nicely legible too. We've got little applied trapeziums, little truncated triangle, arrowhead indices at all the other points there as well, and yeah, you can see those compass markings. I am going to come back with a full review of this one. I'll probably take it up to Queensland over the Christmas holidays, have a few days extra wrist time with it, and come back with a review at some point in January. Nice high polished cathedral handset, pretty legible to be honest. This one, no sunburst effect, it is just gloss black, but yeah, really glad that I went for this black colorway. Just enough color though, just a touch of red here and there to give the whole thing a lift. A word on the movement operation then, because this is the first time that I've seen a 6R GMT. Unscrew the crown to the first position, roll the crown forward to manually wind it nice and smooth, pull it out to the second position, and this is a collar GMT. So the GMT hand adjusts at one point. If you roll backwards, you can adjust the date function. Pull it out to the second position, and the movement hacks, you can adjust the main time. So collar rather than traveller GMT, I'm not bothered at all, to be honest. No surprises because the 4R is also a collar GMT. And that's it on wrist for the first time. I've got a 7-inch wrist for your reference. The strap is stiff. It's not OG cocktail time stiff, but yeah, definitely this one will require some breaking in. Not matte, not patent. If it was paint, I would describe it as semi-gloss. You know, it's kind of got a bit of a sheen to it, but it's not in your face, offensive, shiny. Embossed, decent stitching. Yeah, the strap is actually okay. I will persevere with this one because that means I can persevere with Seiko's deployment system, but I will reverse it. Now, I have got 4 holes to the outside, 6 holes to the inside, so definitely they are catering for smaller wrists than average today. As discussed, I've got a 7-inch wrist, like an average size, so yeah, I reckon this one is pitched at those with slightly smaller wrists than I have. Looks really good though, looks kind of expensive, I have to say. Now, this is not one of Seiko's new super expensive watches, or at least not at the price I paid. I will kind of talk about price in just a second, but I think I got decent value for money out of it. It feels pretty solid. It's very well finished. It's got sapphire crystal. It's got a GMT complication, inner rotating bezel, and a wearable strap and deployant out of the box. Fairly legible in this black color version as well. Silver on black hands. Obviously, the angle does determine the overall legibility, but yeah, not too bad. Now, I will do a full lume video in the full review, but for now, I will give it a blast with the UV torch. You can see what's going on. You can see where the lume is anyway. All 4 of the main hands. It's a nice, decent sized GMT hand here. Sometimes they're kind of covert GMTs, but this one is fairly obvious, pointing to those etched numerals on the bezel. Plus, there are little loomed markings on the train track there as well. So yeah, doesn't look too bad. Lumi Bright, of course, because it's a Seiko. So we've got some decent lume, sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance. A genuine all-rounder, especially if you are prepared to take it off the leather and put it on a rubber or a canvas strap or something like that, for example. All right, price. The Aussie retail price, the list price on this is $1,800. The USA list price is $1,150. Now, thanks to Mr. Watson, neither Stephen nor I paid retail on this one. We got a chunk off it. We got kind of 40% off it, bringing it to a little over 1,000 Australian, but not too much over 1,000 Australian. Now, I reckon it's a fairly solid choice for that price. Definitely a bit more expensive than the 4R GMT watches that are flooding the market, but hey, it's got that extra power reserve, and it has a feeling of solidity. Really lovely case finishing about this one that, yeah, you don't get from the entry-level Seikos. So, my first foray into the world of relatively expensive Seikos, mid-price Seikos, shall we say, in a while, but this one, very impressive so far. Well, I think that will do for today. I am going to set this one to the actual right time, get it on my wrist, and spend the next couple of weeks over the Christmas break enjoying it. If you want to watch another Seiko video, you're not short of options. Why don't you click here or click here? Thanks for making it all the way to the end. I'll see you again in the next one.